Come on. Come on. Good connection, please. Okay, good. But now that we're back, we're just gonna spam click again.
It's been a while, Monsieur Neuvillette. I must say,
It is only right that although, if I may, I see you brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well.
I'll be departing Fontaine. It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this proposal.
Now let's make sure that everything's working properly. Yep. Mic, and they'll start playing. Yep, and there's the computer audio. Good. So we're connected. Now I just gotta spam click back to where we were. Again for the 100th time! I'm sorry, people watching this. The edited version will actually work.
However, at the risk of causing...
I heard you have a certain fondness for water tasting a family as someone who watched... Of course, objectively speaking, not all river...
Did you?
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed.
It may have been tainted at...
Almost
I seem to recall
there.
there being...
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will and, unless absolutely necessary...
I presume I can take...
Tartuffe. Of course, if you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I'm sure certain measures could be taken to reduce the frequency of such troubles.
You choose your words carefully indeed. In that case, I am inclined to accept your proposal.
My thanks for your generosity, Monsieur Neuvillette. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water from Snezhnaya for you to enjoy. I do hope I get the chance to hear your impressions. Perhaps at our next meeting, yes?
Indeed. I trust you would not overlook your commitment in the meantime.
I don't think she will. She seems to be a woman of her word.
All right, Traveler Paimon. Time to go.
Lyney, don't be dead. Neuvy, please, talk to me. Neuvy, honey, baby, hello. Nice to see you. Been too long.
I believe I've told you before that my emotions easily resonate with those of others. Yet in the few meetings I've had with that Harbinger, I haven't been able to sense any aspect of her emotional state. Her mind is like a still body of water. Who knows what darkness lies in its depths, and the lack of ripples on the surface gives nothing away. It's unclear whether this is her natural state of being, or whether it's an incredible strength of will that gives her the ability to master her emotions. Either scenario, however, suggests she is a very dangerous individual.
Agreed, Neuvy.
I do not expect an explanation as to why you two are by her side. Whatever your reasoning, I would only advise you to take caution.
Thank you. I will definitely do so. Yeah. Trust me, why can I not sit in your chair? Gosh darn it. Oh. See? I'm here now. I run this place. Sorry. Sorry, Neuvy. Love you, honey. Love you. Mwah. See you. Bye. Anyway. Hey, let's get out of here. Because Arle is not one to be trifled with. Sorry, I had... Arlecchino, where are you at? I had to say goodbye to one of my many husbands. Okay? Okay. You understand me? You understand me. Great. Thank you. Now, cross my fingers that no more internet problems. Good lord. If I just jinxed it, I'm mad.
So, what exactly were you talking about back there?
We'll find out in due time, probably, and I think my theory might have been correct.
Paimon only heard you mention some rivers, a large body of water, and then some kind of irrigation scheme.
You really want to know? I would imagine there might be more pressing concerns at the moment.
Yeah, we can figure out this later. Let's just save Lyney, Lynette, and Freminet now.
Lyney, Paimon really hopes everything's going okay. Oh, recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you, Traveler?
The knave may seem relaxed, but she didn't seem to be joking earlier when she said those who betray the organization must pay with their lives. I think she's serious about punishing those kids. How should we stop her? No, there's something else we should figure out first. While we were talking in front of the Palais Mermonia, she mentioned Clairvy's name. Does that mean she knew where Clairvy was this entire time? Maybe she even anticipated how Lyney and the others were going to act. I thought he was running around a little too fast.
Oh, shoot. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. Maybe a little concussion, but I'm good.
Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these papers, I wasn't looking where I was going.
That's one of the guys from the list. That's one of the guys from the list people who were killed or whatever. But he's obviously not dead. What? Because he has the scar on the bridge of his nose, like Paimon mentioned. So maybe my theory was right. Holy, I predicted that well if this is correct. Anyway, my bad, I wasn't paying attention either.
Well, let me make it up to you at least. Here, take this paper. On the house.
He looks kind of familiar for some reason.
Oh, you don't have to give us anything.
Please, I want to. It's not like I'm short on supply. All the extras will be useless come tomorrow anyway. It's my fault, really. I was just trying to bring home some extra mora for the family, but I bit off more than I can chew. I haven't had many takers today, so I'm still swimming in papers.
What's going on here?
He just accidentally bumped into us. It's fine.
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend here on accident. I should probably get going, actually, so...
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to compensate you with mora, it's just... I don't have any on me at the moment.
I'll take 3 papers. Here. Your payment.
Oh! Thank you for your patronage. May the Archons bless you with good fortune. If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably just take on a smaller inventory though, right? I'm getting married soon, so sometimes it's hard to not get ahead of myself. Anyway, I should head out. Goodbye!
That has to be that guy who wanted to meet someone.
Well, now that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson. We've even acquired some light reading to enjoy along the way.
Actually, why don't we stick around for a little longer? Paimon just realized how hungry she is. She can't head back to Poisson on an empty stomach.
Looks like Paimon's trying to buy us more time. If we head back now, I doubt Lyney and the others will have made any progress. What should we do?
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow alter the situation in your favor. I'm sorry to ruin your fantasy, but your efforts are meaningless. That being said, I could be persuaded to give Lyney some extra time. I just have one condition.
Yes.
If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite curious about Clairvy, are you not? And my relationship to her.
Yes, I think I know it, but you might as well tell me.
Wait, why are you being so generous all of a sudden? You're not gonna ask us to do something bad, are you?
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent for bad things.
Then what can you possibly...
The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive something they want. Demands and threats only get you so far.
Then your condition is, let's hear it.
Wonderful. Here it is. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the House of the Hearth.
Okay. That's it? Just use my best judgment and try to be helpful to the House of the Hearth?
Okay, sounds normal enough. But what do you mean, when the time comes? When is that supposed to be?
That is for you to decide.
I guess we accept your condition, because we do get to make our own decision of what the best thing to do is.
Then we have a deal. Follow me.
Alright. Where are we heading? Whoa, far away. Oh snap, I think I know what this is. Oh boy, I know what this is, I think. And I'll just wait till Arlecchino says it, but I think you might recognize it if you watch the trailer. That one animated short. Wish it wasn't such a hoof out here, but guess we'll just run on out here. You know what the perfect would be the perfect place for is a boss arena, Eh? Oh come on, we all know if there's gonna be a boss in this quest, it probably is a boss arena. It's round, for Pete's sake. Almost all the boss arenas are round. Paimon, don't you dare bug me. Thank you. I've only had Paimon ever bug me about the border once or twice.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. Now it's nothing more than a pile of rubble. No one comes here anymore, nor does anyone care about what once happened here. Although, this place does have something to do with the story I'm about to tell you. It was before I became a harbinger, and before Lyney and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy and then her mother. And this is where it all happened.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Why?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start from the beginning. Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like a fairy tale. A thriving family made up of kind adults and friendly children.
So, Crucibena is the name of the old director of the House of the Hearth. Mother, okay.
Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood, but she was also the mother to all the children in the house.
I butchered that pronunciation horribly, I apologize. Crucibina, okay. Sounds like like crucify or something a little bit at the beginning there, but that's interesting. I wonder if it has any sort of connection, but But yeah, I thought that a lot of people suspected, since they had the similar hair color, that they were related from the short.
Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family wasn't a fairy tale at all. It was a kind of purgatory.
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Teyvat. But as for how to raise them, that depends entirely on the person in charge. Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the child who proved themselves most worthy of inheriting her title.
Right, because Clairvy called her king in the Arlecchino king in the animation.
It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. The ones that emerged with permanent injuries, on the other hand, well, they still served a purpose. They would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on. or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
Ooh.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. But what actually happened to her? You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
She did say that she doesn't deserve the title of mother, so she probably didn't.
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother, to prove that she treated all her children equally. Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, the only other option was to rise up and try to fight back. Unfortunately, the other children had already been thoroughly indoctrinated into the illusion of happiness Crucibina had created. Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth. Her name was Peruere.
Perry?
Wait, the friend that Clairvy mentioned?
Friend, huh? I suppose we can call her that for now.
You?
Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was rather cold-blooded. Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. While Clairvy longed for freedom, Peruere was convinced that, amid all the fighting and violence, she would make it until the end. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real family, where no one would be killed or sacrificed. There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times to run away, ask for help, or expose the truth. But her efforts only earned her beating after beating. The only thing that kept her going was her strength of will.
Yeesh. Poor Clairvy.
Even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out at the moon together, a fierce longing for freedom shining in her eyes. But one day that light simply vanished.
Oh no. What happened?
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed as hopeless as ever. It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take down the very person sitting on top of this throne of lies? Mother herself.
Makes sense, I guess.
Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an unimaginable amount of power. Trying to kill her would have an incredibly low chance of success. Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of Crucibina as her mother. Killing her own flesh and blood was a line she couldn't bring herself to cross.
Understandable. Even if she is a... Crucibina is quite a jerk.
If she couldn't escape and fight back, then only one option remained.
Death?
Precisely. Death was the only way that she felt she could be free. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere. The very person that had stood by her side all those years. It was a fierce battle. But ultimately, Clairvy decided to let Peruere end her life.
Eh,
From that moment on, Paraware's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all away, there she stood, the sole victor in Mother's endless game of slaughter. A trail of corpses strewn across her path to success. It was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She wasn't surprised by the fact that she emerged as Mother's undisputed heir. Rather, her success left her with an inexplicable sense of restlessness. She was unsettled, and there was only one thing that could quell that sensation. Perhaps you two would like to take a guess as to what it was?
killing the person at the very top.
Crucibina, you mean? But...
Correct. This is the place where Peruware killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the mother they shared. The moment she acted, any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter. It's one of the principles of the house. Only those who survive get to write the rules.
Yeesh.
Peruware won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name. Arlecchino.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about... It was you all along. You're Peruware. Arlecchino is just a name you got later.
Well, yeah, we know that. The titles of the Harbingers Paimon, we know for a fact aren't their real names. Because they have like 10 different titles, for Pete's sake. Anyway, this was your story just as much as Clairvy's.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, hearing it now does bring back memories. After I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and even chose to give up my own name. I rebuilt the House of the Hearth under a new identity. Not only as Arlecchino, but as father. And that is where the story ends. Any more questions?
The Clairvy we met, Vo. Who is she exactly?
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy wasn't a little kid when she was killed. So the Clairvy we met... Was she really a spirit at all?
I feel like she has to be, but maybe not. Because Paimon does have a point. That's not when she died.
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her existence is like ashes to a fire. Something left over in the wake of blaze and ruin. You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not unlike a curse. My flames leave behind shadows of anything they consume.
So, your existence, your curse, made this little apparition appear?
Of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are exceedingly slim. Clairvy is a very special case.
So it's not really her.
Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Most of her memories were lost to the blaze as well. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self. Lose 10 years' worth, however, and it would be like living in the past. Like returning to a version of yourself that never grew up.
Well, yeah, makes sense.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were talking to her.
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time. It may seem like she exists with us in the present, but she truly lives in the confines of her own past.
So if all of that is true, then you must have known about Clairvy for a long time.
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable entity. Sometimes she would look after the children. She's even saved some of their lives. But other times, she would hide from me and become obsessed with revealing the truth about the house to anyone who will listen.
Gotcha. Yeah, like she was trying to do with us. It was technically the truth, just the truth of the past, so that's kind of causing problems for you.
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter is quickly forgotten over time. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight. They failed, yes. The reason is actually quite simple. In Clairvy's mind, the house is impossible to escape. And it is this very perception that traps her there. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved. I don't anticipate so much as a single speck of ash will be left behind this time.
Yeesh, I feel bad for that having to happen, but she's... oh my gosh, I don't know what to do.
Wait! I can understand why you might want her gone, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend! At least talk to her first!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes for Filial and Nantoy as well. She's had quite the effect on them. I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them. Upholding the rules without question is a trait we both share, because that is how a household should be run.
Is this really what you want to do?
I mean, getting some lines for once.
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs: anger and sorrow. Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. Before we arrived, I told some of my well-behaved children to bring our troublemakers here by nightfall. I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I give your friends quite a bit more time. As for what happens now, we'll just have to wait and see.
I don't know.
Here they are, Father.
Oh, you gonna execute him? Seeing something like that would actually be a first for me.
No, first of all, that's not gonna happen. Second of all, you want to see it happen?
Lyney!
Clairvy.
I'm sorry. I heard about how you helped buy us more time, but I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her wish.
Huh? Are you... Perry?
Oh.
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Perry!
Shh, stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first I believe certain scores need settling.
Uh-oh.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, you must be punished. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later. As for right now, the more pressing concerns are the traitors among us.
What? Who?
By traitors? Do you mean us?
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to...
Fultz, why don't you share what you heard?
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants, Filial, Nantoy, Sato, Toddy. Nantoy clearly said, if only Father wasn't the one who took us in. Sato added, I'm sick of this life. I just want to live as a normal person.
This kid has a pretty good memory.
Filial was the worst of them all. She called us crazies and said a bunch of mean things about Father.
I did not! You're
You're lying! Fultz is trying to frame us!
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After that, you and Toddy and a bunch of other people started talking about Clairvy. You were using all those things Clairvy brought up as an excuse to question Father.
Well, who wouldn't?
We're birds locked in a cage. The only way out is to destroy it. That's what you said, wasn't it?
This kid's a little cutthroat.
You little... You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed, watched over you, and changed your dressings? Come on, let's hear it then. What's your reason for all this?
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die. You're our family.
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case. So why? Why have you backed us into a corner?
I honestly don't know. Like, I guess you gotta follow the rules, otherwise you're gonna have this happen to you.
We all live in the House of the Hearth. You know the type of work we do, Filial. A single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. It's not like it's never happened before. That kind of thing is hard to forget. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to Poisson, you've had 7 secret meetings. A lot of the things you talked about really crossed the line.
You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second. Now that I think about it, the move to Poisson was just a way to make it easier to spy on us, wasn't it? Because we were all in one place. You've had this planned all along.
No, it was for another reason, but maybe it was secretly. I don't know. This is getting tense.
Filial, Nantoy, I'm sorry. I owe you both my life. I owe Clairvy too. If it weren't for all your help after I got poisoned, I wouldn't be standing here today. If this were any other situation, I would do anything to repay that kindness, even if it cost me my life. But rules are rules. I'm sorry. My hands are tied.
Why? Why?
I'm really hoping my theory earlier about that people don't actually die, they just get their memories wiped or something, and they get to live a normal life. Is this correct?
That's enough, Filial. We made a mistake, and we should own up to it. We broke the rules, plain and simple. And now we have to face the consequences. I'm sorry, Chapleau. Fultz. I'm sorry, Father. We accept our punishment.
Chapleau, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth, how should these traitors be punished?
All those who betray the house pay with their lives.
And so it shall be.
I hope my theory was right. I don't want to see people die.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Lyney?
Please reconsider, Father. What Filial and the others did. Does it really count as betrayal? We all come from broken families. From the very first day we joined the House of the Hearth, we wanted nothing more than to make it a real home. But the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers. All I know is this. Killing Filial and the others may uphold the rules, but doing so will only bring us further away from being a real family than we've ever been. So please, Father, please reconsider.
I don't think that's gonna happen. She is one for upholding the rules.
I agree with Lyney.
Father, please. Lyney, you...
I also agree with Lyney.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, Given the extent of your determination, I suppose we shall have to go about this a different way. Draw your weapons and face me.
Lyney, Lynette, Freminet, and that other guy, or the two who are traitors?
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the house will not be altered. Traitors must be punished. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient showing of strength, and I shall offer a concession.
Wait. Beat Father in a duel?
Impossible. Father is way too strong, even for Lyney.
This is where the boss fight comes in. Fight! Fight! I want to see this. You two can join in? Alright.
Did you hear that, Traveler? Lyney and the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? Can they really win something like that?
Arlecchino did ask us to do what we think is best when the House of the Hearth needs help. Maybe we should jump in?
If they lose, those people from the house are really gonna be executed. Hey, are you listening?
Is executing them what she really wants?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver.
Back then, she never actually answered my question. So she does want a goodbye, as we could probably imagine. That makes the answer pretty obvious, doesn't it?
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this. Guess that means there's no chance she's throwing the duel on purpose, huh?
There's no way the knave will lose on purpose, although...
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. And any disputes are less likely to escalate.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the House of the Hearth.
Well, I think it's time to go in against the knave. Let's do this boss fight.
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
I'd like to see for myself what the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers can do.
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
If that's okay.
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all.
Yeah, let's do this! Let's kick her butt! Zhao, yes, let's do this! I agree with you, Zhao, let's do this, yes!
All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less, and you may just lose your life.
Understood, let's kick some butt! Cutscene or boss fight? Which first? Okay, boss fight, let's go.
Our bond is strong. Is it my turn now?
Let me read you a verse.
Let's hope I can dodge everything,
With
because
these
this could
rising
hurt. Oh
flames.
gosh.
Is it my
And voila!
What? Voila what?
That's more like
Are you helping me out, Lyney?
Yeah.
Is it my turn now?
A process of elimination.
With a fall,
Father's even stronger than I suspected. Destruction shall rise.
Well, yeah, she's the fourth of the Harbingers.
Running is a little.
Is it the highest Harbinger we've ever faced?
Time to go.
Get in gear!
Out of my way! Dissipate! Closer now. Is it my turn?
Come on. Yes. Good. Keep the damage coming. Keep the damage coming.
Watch out for Father's movements!
Worthy opponent after.
What was that? Uh-oh. Cutscene. Phase 2! Phase 2 time. Wings? No, spider. Okay. That makes sense for the strings that she was balancing on. Cinder of Two Worlds Flames. Okay, yeah, definitely spider themes. Oh!
Get with me!
My blade is all that remains. Fallen leaves. Watch out for Father's movements! Shoot!
Your punishment made manifest.
One with nature.
Run.
Let me leave you a verse.
Come on.
Now's our chance.
Over here!
Thanks for helping me out, guys. Oh. Oh, shoot. Watch out. Oh, this music. Careful, guys. Yeah, Freminet!
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Freminet, careful. All of you. Oh gosh. Are they okay?
Oh, I know.
Oh! Illusion magic!
I'm sorry, Father!
Oh gosh. That is horrifying.
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack. Careful. Oh no, don't. Holy. That is not. I think we lost the duel. Oh gosh, what are you doing?
Father, no!
Go Lumine, quickly!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
Oh shoot. Oh.
Crimson Moon. I can't move.
We're like in a plane if you find me. Don't look at this. Put that hand away. Don't touch me.
Still, not strong enough to beat me.
What happened there? If that's number 4, what's Free 2 and 1 and Piero and the Sari? What are they gonna do? Oh my gosh, that is terrifying.
I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all. We wouldn't want things to get too out of hand.
Oh my gosh, they're safe. At least for now. Wow. Holy tense. Yo, we're cooked. Yeah, exactly. And yes, Fremi was definitely going for the head with that one. And he was turning, he turned the claymore so that it would hit it with the flat side rather than the sharp side, but obviously did not matter which side he hit it with, because she just caught the claymore. This oh gosh. I'm trying to remember. Capitano is 2, if I remember correctly. Oh gosh, I need to look this up. Okay. Genshin Fatui Harbinger rankings. I believe Capitano is 2. Oh no, Capitano is the first. The Doctor is 2nd. Dottore is 2nd. Columbina is 3rd. Arlecchino is 4th. Or at least that's what we speculate. The Doctor, Dottore we know is 2nd. Capitano, I believe we found out at some point recently was the 1st. But oh my gosh. If that was the power of number 4, I am scared to see what Columbina, Dottore, Capitano, and Piero's boss fights are gonna be like if we get one from them. Cause holy guacamole, our goose is gonna be cooked with foes unless we get a big power boost. We better get a gigantic power boost before then, otherwise we dead.
Brother, are you alright?
Lyney.
Given that I am the victor of this duel, as agreed, the punishment stands.
No!
I never thought things would end like this.
Wait. So you ended the duel. That's what you were agreeing to. Their lives aren't saved. Oh no. We need a whole training arc. Agreed, Xiao.
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared to change the method of execution.
And that being...
Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping. Do you still have them?
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for, but I've kept them super safe. I didn't lose a single one.
Wonderful. Then, in just a moment, I'll have you administer them.
Bottled flames?
Indeed. They're the product of a secret experiment. Under certain special circumstances, flames can be extracted from my person and preserved.
The Dottore experiment. This has to be what it is.
Once ingested, searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm will come to you physically, but your memories will be burned.
I knew it! I figured it out! I knew it as soon as she said cleansing the water with Neuvillette. To be able to use otherwise, still have a purpose. I knew it!
If you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know about the House of the Hearth, and will be expelled from the organization. In other words, administering this concoction will kill the version of you that grew up in the house, and give you a new identity.
So... she hasn't been killing anyone. She's not perfect, but she's definitely doing better than the last one, last director, that's for sure. How do you keep guessing everything right? Oh my gosh, I've never noticed. Well, it's just whenever she was talking with Neuvillette, her talking about, okay, so, the family is like a lake, and every member is like rivers going outward, inward and outward, you know? But and you hope that everyone reaches the ocean, but some don't. But you still think they have a purpose. So basically, I had a feeling of saying that, okay, you want them to be members of the House of the Hearth and continue doing work and become the best soldiers of the house as they can be, but you don't, but sometimes not everyone's cut out for that, which is them not making it to the ocean. So, her saying that they still have a use meant, and her saying that they should have a Neuvillette mentioning that they had like a use or whatever, or still, but people might not want to use dirty water or poisoned or whatever he's used. Basically meant they're still from that, like, they have problems to them, you know, because they're from House of the Hearth. People may not trust them, etc. But her saying purifying them, that she has an experiment to purify them, that made me think, wait a second, Lyney and Lynette said that the only reason that you can't really leave the House of the Hearth is because you'd spill secrets, possibly. You can't spill secrets if you don't remember them. So that could be a form of purifying, getting rid of the secrets. And yeah, I knew something was up with the paper guy too. After all, he was on the list of people who were killed, and he obviously wasn't dead. So everything led up to that thought process of mine. So this means that the young man I thought looked familiar, the one selling newspapers outside the Palais Mormonia, he must have been the same horror we saw on the list of executions. He wasn't killed at all.
Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self.
No, if my understanding of the knave is right, she really thinks of that as killing him. The horror that lived in the House of the Hearth is dead. The one that remains is simply a normal person living out his life with his beloved. Even so, it's much better than actually ending their lives.
So, you're just letting us go, Father?
In a way, yeah, I guess so.
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die, and our secrets will die with you. So no, I don't intend to just let you go, because the person who survives will be nothing but a stranger.
Even so, I won't have to live in fear anymore.
So there is a good ending to this. I thought that was gonna happen.
I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, Filial. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes. Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver. Don't let yourself be controlled by your emotions.
Of course. I'll remember.
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yeah! Even if it requires some pain to get there.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Fultz, Elwar. Take them back to Poisson. And bring Lyney and the others as well. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. As for whether to take them, the choice is yours.
So she's giving them an out if they want it, but they can stay if they want to as well.
Goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will no longer be your father. Thank you for all you've done for the house. I hope you have bright futures ahead of you.
Father.
Let's go.
Kind of a sappy ending, but... well...
Here, grab my arm, Lyney. I'll help you walk back.
Aww.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Oh no.
Can we talk now? I've been waiting for a super long time. You really are Perry, aren't you? I haven't seen you in so long. How come you're all grown up? Wait, did I somehow travel to the future on accident? Or am I dreaming? What a long dream.
Don't burst your bubble, please.
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
Oh, why'd you have to do it?
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little. Look, she's done speechless.
If this is really Clairvy's younger self, then I would say she's probably had enough lies.
Oh. Okay then. Huh? That's it? You accepted it just like that? Yep. If that's what Perry says happened, then I believe her. Perry wouldn't lie to me. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. If you're a harbinger now, Perry, that means Mother is gone, isn't she?
Heartbreak emojis are accurate, Xiao. Very accurate.
Can you tell me about it? I want to know what happened to her. And to me.
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, you often sought comfort in the night sky. You wanted to see the aurora, so one night we promised each other we would go to Snezhnaya to see it together. Later on, you tried to run away, but you were brought back each time. Mother spared your life, but it wasn't out of kindness. Instead, she decided to make an example of you by slowly torturing you over time. That way, the other children would know what happens to traitors. Still, you never gave up. Mother hoped that through ruthless duel after ruthless duel, she would be able to crown an ultimate victor among the children she raised. But you called on everyone to unite, to fight to a draw in order to reduce casualties. Your efforts may have only delayed the inevitable, but still. You gave them hope.
That's pretty smart, actually.
You tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. Still, you never turned your sword on Crucibina, and you never turned it on me. On that gloomy day, you told me, "For the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now, I realize that the only freedom I truly possess is the freedom to choose to die."
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down.
Yeesh, I agree.
But somehow, I still think I understand. According to Mother's plan, only one of us was going to make it until the end. And I always hoped that person would be you. If I could do it all over again, I still don't think I would make a different choice. Even when I first met you, I knew you'd be able to do what I couldn't.
She's so sweet.
Is that so? Even now, I'm not sure I truly understand what kind of freedom you were trying to pursue. But as the head of the House of the Hearth, and as the children's father, I've tried to give them the most basic of freedoms. The freedom to choose their own fate. It's something I discussed with the Iudex of Fontaine. The children who want to leave the house will have their memories wiped clean of all secrets pertaining to the organization. In return, they will be allowed to live a normal life in Fontaine without being prosecuted for their past.
Now that makes sense. Bears the full story of what she wanted in return from Neuvillette for drawing out forces.
Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to fight for it and prove themselves worthy of it. Only freedom that is earned has true value.
That's more than enough. That's exactly the kind of life I was fighting for. You know, Perry, I think you're a pretty amazing king, and a really great father, too. I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places. Perhaps they would be willing to tell you what the outside world is like.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Let me tell you of all our adventures.
Really?
Yes.
Of course. We've traveled all over the place. We've got so many stories, we could probably talk your ears off for 3 days straight.
Talk about the land of Animo, nation of freedom.
You know, I used to dream of being a bard. Playing the lute while singing into the winds of freedom. Even if there was no one there to listen, I would have continued to sing no matter what.
Talk about the land of Geo, nation of contracts.
Ah, that's where Mora comes from. I never knew that before. If I asked Mora, I would buy 3 new dresses. One for me, one for Perry, and one for Mother.
She's so... You know, her mother was horrid.
It's just too bad Perry doesn't like wearing dresses. And Mother, well, she probably wouldn't accept something like that either. I guess I'd just have to keep them all for me then. I could wear a different one every day.
Agreed, Zhao. Tears, lots of tears. I should have brought tissues. Talk about the land of Electro, nation of eternity.
Those yokai you mentioned, what do they look like?
A lot of different things. Boxes, cats, raccoons, demons, umbrellas, I think.
I once saw a drawing of this one guy with horns on his head and a super scary face. Are there any yokai like that?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like you're talking about an Oni. Yep, we've met one, and let Paimon tell you, they're not nearly as scary as they look.
Quite friendly, actually. Talk about the land of Dendro, nation of wisdom.
I was always too afraid to skip Mother's fighting lessons. But at the academia, I bet you could do all sorts of secret things in class. Things that have nothing to do with studying. I'm just kidding. Being able to study whatever you want without having to fear for your life actually sounds pretty great.
You tell Claire about the various nations you visited. Eventually the conversation turns to Fontaine.
The situation was super dangerous. Lyney and Lynette were accused of committing a crime, and they were going to have to stand trial at the Opera Epicles. Oh no, that must have been hard for all of you. What happened next? Don't worry, we were able to turn the situation around super quickly. All thanks to Detective Paimon, of course.
You still have that glasses, Paimon?
How'd you do that? Come on, tell me. Okay, so it was like this. After the failed magic show, we rushed to the scene and...
Claire is listening really intently to Paimon's story about her time in Fontaine. She seems really happy, like all her troubles have been forgotten. Maybe this is the first time she's ever been to truly relax, but I'm not sure how long this moment can last.
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter is quickly forgotten over time.
Oh no. As time passes, she'll probably forget everything we've told her and go back to being that scared little girl who could only hide in the shadows. I was so busy thinking I almost didn't notice the sun has risen.
Clairvy, you've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Parallare. Take care of yourself.
I'm gonna cry. I wish I would have brought tissues.
May we meet again someday.
Oh, she didn't have to kill her. She just went away because she was happy. Guess you did figure some way out.
Clairvy.
Oh. Exactly, shall make it stop. Make the blood work stop.
She left so soon. Paimon didn't even get to finish her story.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhnaya was just as beautiful as the ones in the pictures. But a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had the time to say goodbye.
Oh.
Whatever regrets may linger, let them be lost to the coming of a new day.
Father?
You okay, Lyney?
It's Lyney! Hey, Lyney! What is he doing back here? Let's go check it out.
Oh. I want her back too, Arle.
Father, the bottled flames have been administered. Filial and the others have left the house.
And you? What have you decided?
Thank you for giving us that choice, Father. But we never wanted to leave the house. It's the only home we've ever known.
Aww.
Lynette and Freminet feel the same way. They're recuperating back at the Hotel Bouffe d'été. But I decided to come back and tell you where we stood.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become the next king of the house. Yet you seem to have different ideas.
So he doesn't want to be the next knave or whatever?
I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing wrong with choosing to live a quiet life. Leading this organization is a heavy responsibility, one not so easily carried by someone forced onto the throne.
I just never understood what you saw in me. What made you believe I was deserving of that throne?
You're brave, talented, and, most importantly, you cherish your family.
Aw.
You would do anything to protect them, even if it costs you your life.
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Lyney. It's all thanks to you that we were able to convince Father to back down.
You're a hero, Lyney.
Hero. Father is the real hero.
No, you are, buddy.
Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. She must have had it all planned from the beginning, from the very moment she suggested a duel. I'm not deserving of that title. I'm not strong enough or smart enough.
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne is conviction and the necessary strength to act on it. We may have different ideas of what it means to be a family, but you can hardly be said to lack conviction. What you truly lack is strength. For someone of your talent, though, that's something that will come with time.
Yeah, it just takes time sometimes, you know?
Even without that strength, you still chose to face me in a duel, even though the odds were stacked against you. That capacity to honor your convictions is what I truly see in you.
Father.
No one knows what the future holds, what tragedy or triumph may be in store. Being at the head of this organization requires the strength of will to face whatever comes. Caution will only hold you back. If reaching a certain standard were required to go after what you want, I would never have succeeded in killing my predecessor. Back then, there was still a considerable gap between our abilities. Strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their convictions will never be worthy of the throne.
Good point.
I understand, Father. Thank you.
Children must grow up to surpass their parents. Only then can a family continue to flourish. The road ahead is not an easy one, so I'll ask you one last time. Are you certain you want to stay?
You've done so much for me, Father, and that kindness must be repaid. Plus, with Project Stuja at hand, there are many dangers ahead, and I, for one, don't intend to back down. Protecting my family at all costs. That's my conviction.
Good for you, Lyney.
Then you're welcome to stay. As for Project Stuja, you need not be too concerned. If those cowardly businessmen and heartless dignitaries try to take us down, I'm prepared to teach them a lesson. Having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider hiding in the shadows. We need only wait for our prey to come to us.
Spider analogy for the spider boss fight, lady.
At present, our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded, and no sacrifice shall be in vain.
A crimson moon? That makes me think of the Conria disaster.
As for the two of you, whether we meet again as friend or foe, I'll remember the camaraderie we shared in this moment.
Well, thank you.
No matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope we both reach our desired destination.
Well, we've got a little bit more left to go in this quest, so wait till 2 days later, it says. But man, I just realized, normally we get a boss fight in the last act of the Archon quest, which we got with the whale. And in this, and we usually get for the second boss fight of a nation, it comes from the second Archon quest. Not second Archon quest, the second Archon's story quest. And so Freminet, as we know, isn't actually the Archon. So this probably replaces the second story quest.
Didn't Lynette and Freminet were recovering
of the
at
Archon.
the Hotel Bouffeté? Oh, Paimon wonders how they're doing. Maybe we should go check on them.
Yeah, good idea. But because Freminet isn't the Archon, she isn't going to have a second story quest. So this replaces that. I think that's interesting. Guess there they are. Or this is where we first met at Freminet. But either way, yeah. That explains why we got the boss fight in Arlecchino's quest, because there would be no Freminet second story quest to put the boss fight in. So I kept on wondering why it was not in something like an interlude or something, rather than Arlecchino's, but that explains it, now that I think about it.
Lynette? Freminet? How are you feeling?
Much better.
Whew, what a relief.
What about you? Are you feeling alright?
No need to worry, I'm right as rain.
I knew you'd come out unscathed. Us, on the other hand, well, we've been bedridden for 2 days. I couldn't even turn over.
Ouch.
Oh, and I wanted to ask, is Clairvy gone?
Yeah, but in a happy sense.
Lyney and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the Hearth. According to him, there haven't been any more sightings of a spirit roaming the house.
We bid her farewell under a blanket of sunlight. Her wish has been fulfilled.
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago and told us about what happened with Crusabina and Clairvy. Actually, I've met Crusabina before.
What? Hold up. So, how old does that make him then, if you've met and remember meeting, probably, Crusabina? Because, if you remember, hold up, think about this. So, Clairvy, when she died, was 16, Arlecchino said. And then Arlecchino's duel with Crusabina was 1 year later after Clairvy died. 1 year later. So that would mean when she took over, so when Crusabina died, Arlecchino was 17. I'd imagine he had to at least have been, I'm going to make a guesstimate to have, of course we need to hear what he says, but to have a decent memory of Crusabina, he would have needed to been 8 or something at least, I'd imagine. Because before then, usually the memories are pretty fuzzy of people you remember, you know? Oh, they're pretty you don't really remember too much about them unless the memories are extreme. And even then, Arlecchino, I'd say, is probably somewhere in her early to mid-30s, at least, in current game, which means Freminet is an adult. Which would be weird if he mentioned that he's still growing earlier in the quests. But this is weird. How old is Freminet then? If he remembers meeting Crusabina. Oh, this messes things up. You can still grow after you turn 18 and whatever. You still, if I remember correctly, you can still actually grow up until like age 21, 22-ish. Vertically and whatever. Or like just like normal. Or like a young person would. Just not as much. But, oh gosh, that puts some weird things in the timeline. Like, but he could have been joking earlier and saying that I'm still growing and whatever, or just like trying to come up with an excuse, and he's just like, oh wait, I'm not still growing. I think Fremi is at least a young adult. Oh, maybe it's because he's short, I don't know. maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to think, but that's an interesting implication, because I would have thought Fremi is somewhere in his mid-teens or mid to late teens, but I feel like he might have to be older than that if he has met Crusabina.
Wait,
Crusabina.
What? You've met the former knave?
Crusabina died a year after Clairvy. It was during the year between their deaths that I joined the House of the Hearth.
Okay, so he joined the House of the Hearth right in the year, so basically right whenever Arle was probably around the same age as Clairvy. So Arle would have probably been in 16, 17-ish, which looks about right for the animation of what Arle looked like age-wise, I'd imagine. So yeah, I'd imagine Fremi here is an adult, like an actual adult.
Crusabina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. While she was alive, the atmosphere in the house was suffocating. When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already come to an end, and all the people involved, dead and injured alike, were gone. Crusabina never talked about the past with us newcomers. A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crusabina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments, Clairvy included, were lost to the flames, along along with the painful memories they represented.
Possibly for the best.
Father took in Lyney and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything about Crucibina or Clairvy.
It really seems like something she was planning to keep to herself. The last time you talked to her, did she mention why she kept it a secret for so long?
Yeah, that's interesting.
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. She was worried we'd develop a false sense of gratitude towards her if we knew about it. The foundation of a family should be free of any corrupting influence. Whatever happened in the past, it has nothing to do with who we are now. And that's what Father told us in the end.
But I still thanked her for everything. It was only after hearing about what Crucibina did that I finally realized how insignificant our lives could have been. The members of the house meant nothing to her. To say that she valued them in any way, even just as a tool, would probably be giving her too much credit.
Yeesh.
If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth, I probably would have already...
Don't think about it, she saved you in the end.
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't believe that being indebted to her should be what ties us together. But even if we didn't owe her anything, we would still choose to stay. Because this is our home.
Aww.
We may have arguments or times when we feel wronged. Some people may even choose to leave. But as long as Father is here, we will always have a home.
Whether the path before us is bathed in sunlight or shrouded in shadow, we'll follow Father wherever she chooses to go. So I wanted to say thank you for helping us make it through this crisis. Without your help, we could have lost a lot more along the way.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous about this whole thing.
Oh, we didn't do anything, really.
Just invite us back as a guest and we'll call it even.
Of course. You're welcome anytime.
Aw.
Are Filial and Nantoy okay?
I actually saw them at a cafe this morning. They didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they were drinking coffee and talking about one of the operas that started running recently.
Aw, they got to keep their love of things, at least.
They seemed happy. If I had to take a guess, I would say they finally found the kind of life they always wished for.
I guess things all around had a pretty happy end. But that one mission that Pulcinella and Pantalone seem to be working on, I am so curious about what that is. It was something Straza project something or other, I don't know whatever it was. I can't remember the name of it. It was something or other, a bunch of gobbledygook of letters, you know. I want to know what that is, but there's nothing information-wise other than the Chinese translation that I looked up earlier, basically saying Severe Winter or whatever. Project Severe Winter or something like that is the Chinese translation. So, that is just like, I don't know what that means. Does it mean literal, or does it just mean basically Project Snezhnaya, basically? You know, like, okay, hey, this is a project to save Snezhnaya or whatever, you know, it's from Snezhnaya, yada yada yada, etc. You get the point. Anyway. Hey, I think that is gonna wrap everything up for this live stream. What are you saying, Zhao? I'm really excited to see what that's about. Probably really important. I have a feeling that might be endgame stuff, because, as like, you know, like with, I feel like that's a tease for some endgame stuff that's gonna come back. Or who knows, maybe it might pop its head back up in, the Natlan. And maybe it could have something to do with Natlan. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Don't ask me. We'll find out when we get there. Which is gonna be soon. I can't wait to see what it's gonna be like. Hopefully it's a little nicer to my Primo Gem wallet. Maybe with character-wise, at least. At least I can't wait to see what it looks like, but... Anyway, I think that'll have to end off this stream, even because we've been going for a while and we've had enough internet troubles to fill up a jar of, how many times would I say? Over 10. Over 10 times my internet disconnected during these live streams, and for so many, just, my live tab is gonna be messed up so badly. Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Either way. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, even though it's been crazy. And if you did, like, subscribe if you haven't already. And check out my Twitter to know when I'm streaming in the future. I don't know when I'm going to stream next, possibly for the event that's coming up. The Ito music event, if it seems to be worth anything of a streaming, you know. Isn't just another, like, that alchemy event. It was fun, it just probably wasn't anything worth streaming, you know. Oh, so we'll see what that turns out to be. You know, I'll keep my finger on the pulse, see if that should be streamed, but I'll let you guys know on my Twitter and my community tab. My Twitter is bumper_YT, in case you people don't know. I've said it plenty of times, but I'll say it again. And, yeah, just keep an eye over there, and you'll know I'll post things saying when I'm planning on live streaming. And also, I do things just like do silly little chats with you guys over there, you know, just tell you little things that are going on in my life. Like, I recently found a Showbiz pizza token, if you know what I'm even talking about. I posted a picture of that on my Twitter. It was kind of like, what the heck is that? Why is that there in my junk drawer? But I'm rambling enough. I need to get some food, so I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. And hopefully as well, I'll see you guys in whatever I'm doing next. But until then, this is Bumper, signing off. Bye guys.
The scribes were